We were hoping that perhaps they will, the councillors will come out and have a chat to us prior to having to make such an important decision. We would like to speak to them about what these cuts will mean to our members, firefighters, and their health and safety concerns, but also to the safety of the public. We believe it will put both of those categories of people at risk. So over the last 5 years, the fire service has year on year had to make cuts. Now year on year it's made cuts to the backroom staff of the fire service. We've seen great cuts to them. What we're saying now is these cuts are to the frontline services that will endanger firefighters and the public. The fire service even admit that in their consultation document that it will. We're saying that, my personal opinion is that if we looked at a slight rise in council tax to cover the costs of what the fire service need, then that possibly would be the right way to go. We need to consider that the fire service for each household only costs £50. Now people pay more to cover their boiler for a year, so £50 to have that such a great insurance policy at the fire service, I don't think it would be too much of a problem to increase it slightly. That's probably one of our greatest concerns across Lincolnshire actually, is the accidents on the roads. We're seeing that fire engines will go out with only 4 crew members on now, opposed to 5 as currently. And that will decrease the impact a fire crew can have initially at a road traffic accident. We work to a golden hour, and that's from crash until the ER table. And we're saying if you reduce numbers on the ground, that time will have to increase.
Some of the proposals that we're looking for a decision on today do affect some of our response times, certainly in the Lincoln North area, so around Natlam Road, Glebe Park, that area. Because currently there are firefighters on the station 24/7. With the proposals we're making, there'll be firefighters on the station during the day, but at night they'll be within 2 or 3 minutes of the fire station, either in provided accommodation or at their home address. So there will be a slightly slower response time there. But actually that's the same as it is around the rest of the county. So in Lincoln there'll still be one station at Lincoln South, where there's 24-hour cover by instantaneous cover, and there'll then be another station at the north of the city, where firefighters are there during the day and they're available on call at night. It's the same as in Grantham, Gainsborough, Boston, Skegness. But it's also then put in context that over the last 4 years in the county, we've improved the number of whole-time firefighters we've got in the county who are available 24/7. So if you looked at 2010, we only had 2 stations, and they were both in Lincoln. We've now got stations where there's firefighters available 24/7, and whole-time firefighters available 24/7. And that's now in Gainsborough, Grantham, Boston, Skegness, Sleaford, Louth, and Spalding. So yeah, that's an improvement. Obviously there is a very small increase in the rest of the members public in North Lincoln, because there is going to be a slightly longer response time. The response time at the moment is around about 1 minute 30 at night, and it's going to go up to about 3 minutes 30 at night on average. So yeah, there is going to be a slightly longer response time, which increases the risk marginally. But given where we are across the service, the risk across the county has been improved. But also, you've got to look at it in the context of, since 2010, the number of fire calls in Lincolnshire has reduced by 50%. So whilst the response times and the firefighting capability is important, it's equally important that we carry on doing the preventative work, the educational work that drives down the number of fires. Because obviously the best defence is not have the fire in the first place.
There are some minor changes we are talking about. Basically there's some reduction in management, but also we are looking at instead of having a minimum of 5 people riding on our fire engine, we'll go down to 4. Stress that's a minimum, I didn't mean to say they will always be that. So there will be some effect in the urban areas, but in the rural areas actually that will be better, because sometimes we find that where we have retained or volunteer firefighters, they can't turn out because they can't achieve the minimum, because we do sometimes have problems with busy people being able to attend the fire stations. And there is a small change, and there's a change in overnight in one of the fire stations in Lincoln. Overnight won't be open all night.